Thank you very much, Ken Workington. Yes, indeed, the man, the myth, the legend, Ronnie Burke is with us in the Sulky. And here's some staggering numbers. You're over $150 million in career earnings, over $75 million in the last 3 years. It's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, no, we have a big barn, and, the business is great right now. There's a lot of opportunity to make money, and, it's made it like a very profitable and enjoyable living for us.
But it comes with a price. I've never seen you when you aren't on the cell phone or you aren't watching races at 4 different tracks. You've got a zillion horses to manage at half a dozen tracks and everything else. How do you keep track of everything, and how do you keep from burning out?
You know what? I love what I do, and that's the biggest thing. Technology, as I've said before, it enables you to be 2 places at once, and that really helps me. But it comes down to great help and loving what you do. I don't do everything by myself. There's a ton of us that are doing this together. I just happen to be the, name on the paper.
The Burke Brigade buys horses from all over North America. When you're looking at a prospective purchase, what are you looking for? A horse you can improve or a horse that you think will fit certain slots? What is it the key that you're looking to buy?
Well, first of all, horses that fit certain spots, and also horses that fit us. I've come to be pretty good at knowing what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. And that's the thing is, you got to know what you're good at and you got to know what you're not good at, and try to, stick to the ones you're good at. I'm not the best in the world with a horse that's crazy or hot or nervous. I tend to make them more nervous. But horses that have talent, that are a little lazy or thing, usually I can get them to, give a maximum effort.
Every driver that drives for you ask them what's the key to the Burkes. They say, you know what? They never send out a short horse. The word is you train them hard. They are ready to go when you drop them in the box. With the exception of maybe a Sweet Lou or something, do you still train them real hard?
Yeah, no, I mean, we work horses hard. We work them hard for short distances, but, we do a lot of work on not a lot of days. We don't maybe do it every day, but when we do work, they're going to work. So, with me, it's a mental thing, too. I want them to be mentally aware that, when they step on the track, that we expect, maximum effort. And, I think horses are, are trained to do, they're trained. They want to please you and they want to do things, to make you happy and make themselves happy.
One other thing that you talked to me about at Harrisburg one year, a horse was in the ring for the mixed sale. You said that horse is 100 pounds too heavy. You said every horse you get, you usually take some weight off. And you said, show me an Olympic runner that carries 1 extra pound. And that's
what I say all the time. Show me the first fast, fat guy, and I'll start fattening the horses up. They're meant to be athletes. They should look like athletes.
You've had some bad news and kind of sad news a couple of weeks ago. Mission Brief, your star trotting mare, suffered an injury and is going to miss the 2016 season. What exactly happened to her?
It's basically the same injury that it would be uncle, like Southwind Spirit had, that it just a diffused suspensory, and it was, it measures 1.4 centimeters instead of 1 centimeter. And, and they talked me in with Southwind Spirit that I could go on with him and we could manage it. And he never was the same, and I wasn't going to do it to her. So, we just shut her down. We have her at a clinic. She's walking, then she'll go on a gate, and then she'll do this. And we'll let her tell us when she's ready. When she's ready, she'll be back. If she's never ready, she'll never be back. I will never let her get hurt on the racetrack. My favorite horse of all time.
Now, who's kidding who? She had to be worth 7 figures as a broodmare, and I'm sure people were calling you up. Did you ever consider selling her?
We had a 7-figure offer after she got hurt. And being honest, part of me wanted to sell because it would have taken the pressure off. And, but my guys, they want to race her. They love her. They wanted to see what she could do. And they're like, do you believe you can bring her back? And I was like, yeah, from all reports, if we take the time, we'll come back. And they said, then absolutely not. We want to move on and let's give her a chance to do what we think she can do.
Well, she almost won the Hambletonian for you last year, and this year you've got the Hambo favorite Southwind, Frank, a colt that, even though he's been so successful, flies under the radar a little, set the world record at Lexington. How is he coming back, and what are the plans for dropping him in the box?
He's vicious. He couldn't have been better. Yannick came down yesterday and trained him, and I couldn't be happier with him. We're going to train one more fast time next week, and then we'll qualify the following week. And then from there, we have a schedule pretty well mapped out. I have a better feel for him than her in that he's easier to do what you want to do. With her, it was more like she did what she wanted to do, and you tried to bend it around her schedule. So with him, he's a much easily managed horse, maybe not the extreme speed that she had, but by the same thing, he did things that no other colt had ever done things. So it's hard for me to now say that she's better than him. She's faster than him, but I don't know. He may be better than her.
Well, one of Southwind Frank's biggest competition might come from another horse in your stable, Make or Miss. That horse can flat out haul the mail in the last quarter mile.
When we left Florida last year, if you'd have told us that Southwind Frank could have beat Make or Miss, not one of us would have agreed. He was far and away better colt. He went through a lot of bad times, got good at the end. Joey kind of got along with him and, was able to just like keep him together till we could flatten out late. And he came on like gangbusters. This year he seems again training down, everything's great, so I don't want to get fooled into again thinking, oh, maybe he's better than Frank, but he is a very high speed, very talented horse.
Meadowlands pace prospect is Big Top Hanover, your leading 3-year-old. How do you qualify today?
No, for big track horses, my leading 3-year-old's Check 6. Check 6 was a great horse last year and ended up stepping on a nail, and it ended up screwing up his whole end of the year. He's came back vicious. J.K. Willpowers came back great. Manhattan Beaches came back great, and Big Top. But this year, I don't think there's one horse that stands above all of us. Maybe a little bit at the end, Elliott's colt started to, like Boston Redlocks, look like maybe he was better than the rest of us. But, I'm still hoping that all of mine have a little bit more and we can step up and be a factor in the division.
The Mac Lobel Elite Lap Playoff on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 8th, our first big stakes race of the year. You've got 3 nominated. Crazy Wow qualified a couple weeks ago behind Shake It Carry and just in front of Be a Magician. Is he your best hope for that race?
Yeah, for sure he is. Crazy Wow has the most upside. He's a very good horse, and I think he's going to get better. And he wasn't perfect in that qualifier. That's why I gave him a week off. He'll come back next week, I'm sure, and I think he'll even be better.
And the Elite Lap experience, you were there with Buckeye St. Pat, and I'll bet you would love to go back there again and knowing now what you wish you might have known then.
Yeah, and especially now, too, they're going to let us come straight in. It ain't going to be planes, trains, and automobiles. That was very hard on them. Being able to come straight there and fly right there is going to make a big difference. I think you're going to see American horses now show, way better. It's the toughest race to win, maybe in the world, but it is one of the most fun experiences you'll ever have.
Ronnie, your name has surfaced in the alleged glycine positives in New York a couple of months ago. There's been no rulings. There's been no fines. In fact, all we've heard is crickets from the New York Racing and Gaming Board. Can you comment on that? Do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, no, I'll comment on it. None of us have been charged. There's more than just me. There's multiple things, and I think New York is, coming to the conclusion, or at least I hope they are, that this is an environmental contamination. They're looking at it. I think they're trying to be as fair as they can. Their first job is to protect the public, which I understand. But by the same thing, the trainer responsibility rule, I get it, but I can't stand and hold every horse's hand and every day. And if they're going to have, something that's in the environment all around them, and it's going to cause a minute reading, and that, I'm going to face a problem for it, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might as well get out of the business. I know that I don't do anything to make horses performance-enhancing ways by drugs, and I'll, go to my grave saying I don't, and I believe in what we do, and I know that in the long run we will be found not guilty of any of this.
Well, let's take a look at your horses in tonight and get some handicapping hints for the betting public here. First race, number 8, Well Bred. Pretty aggressive in his first start back off the big layoff. Had to have needed that. Yeah,
needed it and got pushed 3 wide. Vinny, I thought, was a little bit late coming out under him last week, but I always think it's, somebody else's fault, not mine. So, he raced good. Horse, I had him once before. He came back. He's actually better than when I lost him, so I'm really happy with him.
Speaking of having a horse once before, third race, number 2, Atochia. This horse is 30 years old right now, I think. He's made a ton of money. 3 starts in, 3 years?
Yeah, and I don't even know why I brought him back. He's kind of like a mascot, and he's always just sitting there and looking at you, and he's getting fatter by the minute. We put him back in training, and he trained down great. Then last week, I think he just got tired, and that's his answer to getting tired. He just stops. So, we gave him another week, tried to put more work into him. Believe me, this is a short-term experiment. If I can't get him to fire where he's competitive, I won't embarrass him. I'll just, he'll be back to the farm, Field of Dreams, hang out with the rest of them.
6th race, number 7, Darcee. Seems like a project. We've seen him try to stand on his head. In fact, in early March, it cost him a win. Is he straightened out now?
I don't know, straightened out. He's better. He's not going to fall down, I don't know what went wrong with him. He came over here. He was very good the first couple starts. Then he got that hitch in his gait. He's really not a lame horse. I don't know if he's the speed is panicking him or but we're getting there. It's slowly, but we're getting there.
7th race, number 2, Always at My Place. Man, he's fast. He was clicking off 27 and small change quarters last week. Second time Lasix tonight.
Yeah, and really disappointing. First 2 qualifiers, vicious. Went to Yonkers, drew a horrible way. Things didn't go out. We go 26 flat to the quarter our first race. I think it took him a couple weeks to get over that. I look for him to be better here. Maybe, hopefully, just maybe a first up or a second over trip, something like that. I don't know if he really likes to be pressed early.
Moving on to the 10th race, number 5, Stolen Glimpse. First time starter. You spent 6 figures for him. What about him?
He was our best 2-year-old pacing colt last year. None of us doubted he was our best colt. He came up first qualifier, vicious. Second one, put in a step. We thought he hurt his knee. By the time we got him back to the barn, realized he had broken a coffin joint. We did the right thing. We gave him, 9 months off. We brought him back. He's trained down great, seemed sound. I think still could be any kind of horse. We got to be a little bit careful. We don't just blow him up the first few starts, but very talented, very nice horse.
Lastly, I know you're a big Pittsburgh Pirates fan, and I like the Mets. Thanks for giving us Neil Walker and Antonio Bastardo. And if I have an extra ticket for the World Series at Citi Field, I'll take you along. Thanks for joining us, and good luck tonight.
Okay, thank you very much.
Ronnie Burke in the Sulky. We'll take a quick time out. Hollywood Hayden and I will tee up tonight's racing action.